Welcome back to Tech Lounge. If this is the second video you're watching on the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you enjoyed the video, please remember to hit the like button. Let's get into it. In today's video, I'd like to recommend 3 AI books which I've read and later on get into the key takeaways that I've received from each book. For the first book, I'd like to recommend Taking the Anxiety Out of AI by Sameer Rawjee. This book is beginner friendly. I like how it explains all the technical jargon for people who aren't technical or who aren't interested in the technical aspect. It's also got a great chapter on prompt engineering. Basically, a prompt is the text input or the instruction that you give an LLM to carry out a certain task. So whatever you'd ask ChatGPT or Gemini to do, it teaches you how to prompt in a specific way where you'll get the best result. Also, another thing that I really liked about the book is how it is targeted towards people who think AI is after their jobs or who are uncertain about AI, and it shows you how you can skill up. It triggered me when I saw a video of a company called 1X Technologies in the USA. They created a humanoid called Neo or Neo, depending on where you are. But basically, this robot is able to carry out chores. It's not perfect yet because it still needs a human to interface with it for certain kind of chores, the more complex ones. But for the easier ones, it's able to do all those chores autonomously, right? And the second video that I saw was China, actually, where they deliver food with drones. It's also not perfect because I think it's only able to deliver at certain spots. It's not really at your doorstep. But I know Amazon was actually trying this in the USA. So it's great to see how AI and tech is advancing. But again, it speaks back to this, that a few people or a lot of people actually might see this and become very anxious about where AI is going. With that said, let's get into the key takeaway that I received from Taking the Anxiety Out of AI. The key takeaway that I received from the first book, Taking the Anxiety Out of AI, was an exercise in chapter 9 where Sameer, the author, asks the reader to prompt AI, ChatGPT to be specific. It can be the free version or the paid version. So you ask the reader to prompt ChatGPT to create a table with 4 columns. Basically give it your task and then ask it to create a table with the following in the 4 different columns, right? So column 1, you wanted to identify new tasks to focus on as AI does the routine work in my role. Column 2, identify new skills that I need to learn. Column 3, show me an example of these skills in action. And column 4, show me how to learn the skill. So I've already pre-populated the prompt into ChatGPT. So let's go to ChatGPT and see the results that we get. We're in ChatGPT now. This is the free version. I haven't even signed in. Yeah, I just thought it would be best to do it like this for those who don't have ChatGPT, the paid version that is. So I gave it the role product manager, but essentially you'll just input what your role is over there, and then the rest of the prompt is the breakdown, right, of the 4 different columns and what each column needs to have. So let's just run this prompt and see what ChatGPT comes back with. Okay, so we have something coming in there. Okay, it's quite lengthy. Okay, we'll just read the first part while it's still loading the rest. So as AI takes over more routine product task, example, backlog grooming, basic analytics, documentation, drafting, report generation, your leverage as product manager shifts towards higher order thinking, system leadership, and AI orchestration. Okay, fitting, seeing as AI can do the rest. So it gave me 10. Okay, so it gave me 10 tasks, or 10 rows. But I think if you use the paid version or other LLMs with the paid version, you'll probably get a more in-depth answer. It'll probably give you links as well to the different courses, for example, that you need to study. And I think, yeah, the information will just be better. But let's just look at what we have over here. I'll just cover the first one and then you can do the same with your role and see what you get. So under new tasks, number 1, define AI augmented product strategy. Okay. Skills to learn, AI strategy and capability mapping. Okay, cool. Examples of the skills in action: identify where generative AI can reduce onboarding friction. Okay, actually, that's a good one. And launching an AI-powered assistant inside your product. Nice, okay. And then how to learn the skill: study AI product case studies, AI featured launched by Notion and Microsoft, Take AI for Everyone by Andrew NG, map AI use cases across your product value chain. Okay, this was actually, I didn't expect it to be this detailed, but this was actually quite good. I'm impressed. And of course, you can read through the rest and see what else will work for you. Another thing that you can do is, once you have this, you can actually ask it to generate something like a roadmap for you or a plan that will help you navigate all of this. Maybe break it down into weeks or months, and from there you can just start learning AI. I think the undertone of this book was that don't let AI scare you. Don't think it's coming for everyone and everyone's jobs. What we need to do now is skill up and use the tools, right, that are available for us. And mentioning tools, he further goes on to give you examples of the different tools that you can actually use in your role. So we can actually go back to the presentation and I'll give you a few of those tools that he's mentioned. I've selected the top 4, which I think would be able to cover everyone. But again, you can go through the book and see the other tools that might actually be relevant for you, right? For the first one would be Perplexity. So Perplexity is a smart research assistant that delivers direct cited answers from the live web instead of just a list of links. So if you do a lot of research, if you go on Google Scholar, you'd know how helpful this is. I think for students and researchers, Perplexity hands down is the best tool that you can use in that space. The second one is Jasper. So it's an AI co-pilot built specifically for businesses and marketing teams to generate high-performing on-brand content. So again, marketing is listed in there. Also, I think content creators could actually use a tool like this just to elevate the content and their branding, if that's something that they're keen on. The third one is Notion, which is an all-in-one productivity AI that instantly transforms messy meeting notes into actionable tasks, drafts documents, and organizes your team's knowledge. I feel like this is similar to Copilot, but yeah, essentially, if you take notes manually during meetings, it will able to summarize those notes and create action items for you after that you can share. And then the last one is Reply, which is an automated sales assistant that personalizes cold outreach, manages follow-ups, and handles prospect responses to book meetings for you on autopilot across channels like email and LinkedIn. So if you're into sales, this is definitely a no-brainer for you. I think it could provide actually great value. But again, these are not all the tools that are out there. You can go out there and do your own research. But for me, this is what I wanted to share. These are the key takeaways that I've received from this book, which I think is a great book for a beginner in AI. And with that said, we can go on and speak about the second book that I would recommend. The second book that I'd like to recommend is The Hitchhiker's Guide to AI by Arthur Goldstuck. This is probably my most favorite book in my entire collection. Every time I've recommended this book to somebody, they thoroughly enjoyed it. The book kicks off with an interview with Rassie Erasmus, and he explains how he used AI to win the 2019 Rugby World Cup as well as the 2023 Rugby World Cup. It's a great story. I won't go into it. Yeah, you can read up on it if you want to hear more about that. The second part that I thoroughly enjoyed was how a company in Nigeria is able to predict what a baby needs based off of how they cry. That was also quite advanced and quite mind-blowing. If you want to read up on that, grab a copy. And the third part, now this is the highlight. There's a company called Karabo.ai and they created MobileGPT. Now we're going to look at MobileGPT under the key takeaways. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm actually very excited about this one. So Bertha Kokong, through Karabo.ai, created MobileGPT. A bit of a mouthful, sorry. But yeah, essentially, MobileGPT allows you to access ChatGPT through WhatsApp. I think it's a great idea for people who aren't comfortable with accessing GPT for whatever reason through the web. Maybe the older generation who are now accustomed to WhatsApp and would prefer to interact with AI through WhatsApp. I think this is actually quite a great idea. So this is how the website looks like. So after reading the book, I actually took some time to come to the website and play with it a bit, which is what I'm going to do right now. I'll just show you some of the features that it has. But a disclaimer, when you come to the website, it will tell you to go to WhatsApp and then you can start interacting with it, right? That's basically a 24-hour free trial period. But if you want to access it every month, it's $20. And then if you want lifetime access, it's $149. So $20 is roughly 320 Rand. And then $140 would be roughly 3,000 Rand or something. But the 3,000 Rand is for, it's a lifetime access, right? So this is how the website looks like. Yeah, okay, so there you go, the 140. Then if you scroll down, it will tell you all the different features that it has. If you want to read up on it, I'm just scrolling past because we'll go into depth shortly. Yeah, it shows you the different things that you can do there with AI, image generation. It's quite cool actually. So when you get to their website, you can either click on whichever button, chat with MobileGPT, and then that will then take you to WhatsApp, right? So let's go over to my WhatsApp and start playing with it. Okay, so I've logged into my WhatsApp account on my PC, and I'm going to send it this message to initiate the chat. So it's the first time I'm reaching out to it on this number. It's probably gonna take me through the whole introduction. So yeah, you can just come play with it as well and see or read through all of these features and stuff, but I plan on taking you through the ones that I found very cool actually. Okay, cool. So you get a little cheat sheet as well there. So I'll just create it again, or let me ask for the menu. Please give me the menu. Next menu, please. Awesome. Okay, so we finally got to the menu. So what I'm gonna do is under normal chat, so this is basically prompting GPT through WhatsApp. I'm gonna ask why someone would use, or why rather I'd use MobileGPT over the normal GPT, right? So why should I use you over the normal GPT? Just trying to be spicy. Let's see what it says. Right, okay, cool. So super convenient. You don't have to open your apps or website. Yeah, thought so. Familiar and private. Everything stays in your WhatsApp chats. You can keep questions and answers private and easily accessible. Quick sharing, so you can upload pictures, voice notes. What is in your pocket? Personal charge. Okay, cool. Yeah, so basically what I thought and what I had explained before. And another thing is that it caters to different languages, right? So for example, I can ask it, can you please translate your response to say to Setswana. Let's see what it is. There we go. And just like that, it has translated everything for me in Setswana. So you can actually engage this chatbot in your mother language. So it's not only restricted to English. That's also quite another plus, I think. I was amazed actually the first time when I engaged with it. So learning assistant, this is quite cool as well. So it basically creates a curriculum or like a study program for you over WhatsApp. So let's just say artificial intelligence, right? I want to learn that. Oh, it's already giving you actually options that you can study. Beginner. So it's asking for the level. Let's just say define AI. Okay, so it's giving me a breakdown. Yeah, let's go. Okay, while it's working in the background. Okay, let's implant this down. There we go. So there's my first lesson. Oh, so it's taking me to IBM. Simulation of Human Intelligence. Wow. Okay, cool. So it even gives you links that you can click on, where you'll be able to read up right in depth about it. So this is so cool. And then it's broken down into different mini chunks that you can go through. So essentially you have a tutor in your pocket, right? And it even has exercises because it's asking me to open my phone's gallery. Wow, okay. Yeah, so I think this is something that you should definitely check out if you have time. Yeah, I obviously can't go through the whole thing, but essentially there you can learn AI on WhatsApp. And yeah, so that was the key takeaway that I got from the second book, which is the Hitchhiker's Guide to AI, which I think is quite phenomenal. Great author, great storytelling. So check it out if you're interested in that. And let's head over to the third book that I recommend. The third book that I'd like to recommend is African Artificial Intelligence by Dr. Mark Nasila. To be quite honest, I'm still reading the book. As you can see, the bookmark is still in there. But if you're into strategy, if you want to read about AI strategy, this is definitely the book for you. What I like that Dr. Mark did was he listed different industries and how AI can be implemented in those different industries. Under my key takeaway was when he spoke about Deloitte's AI readiness for government. I thoroughly enjoyed this framework, and it's something that I'd like for us to discuss in the key takeaways. Let's get to it. While reading, I came across this AI readiness framework for government, apologies. And I like how it broke it down into the 4 different areas, right? So the first one is why. So what's the strategy? Is it going to solve a critical problem? Will it solve a critical business problem? These are questions that you need to ask before you just start implementing AI in your business. Yeah, because it can go real south very quickly. And the second one is who. People. Are your people skilled? Do the people you rely on have the critical AI skills that's needed to drive that vision forward, to drive that AI skill forward. There's no use, demanding AI in your business, in your company, but the people there aren't equipped. Now I know this is what me and you are trying to do. Hopefully that's why you're watching the channel, and hopefully I'm motivating you to do this as well, even more. But yeah, is your company AI focused? Are they equipping you enough? Are the people in charge demanding these AI capabilities in our products, in our businesses? Are they equipping you, right, with the relevant skills to actually push that vision? And then number 3 is with what? Data and technology platforms. I think data is probably the gold of, it's the gold, it's the backbone of AI. I think I said this in the previous video as well, that your data needs to be premium, right? Otherwise, all you have is garbage in and garbage out. You can't be projecting numbers with data that's incorrect, because then your projections are going to be off. I can't be installing an AI model that's going to predict failure when the data it's been fed is off, or it's not accurate. Then it's going to be predicting garbage the whole time. So before you even think of implementing AI tools and systems, I think you need to ensure that your data is actually top tier. That will save you a lot of money and a lot of headaches. And then for the process and ethics, is it easy to integrate this model, this tool into your current processes? What needs to be worked on? Fine-tune everything before you start integrating stuff into your processes and your systems. And ethics, is it safe? Is it fair? If you go online and you search, the horror stories of AI, it sometimes will discriminate you based on where you're from, based on who you are, based on where you live and stuff like that. And sometimes it's not intentional. It's just user bias or developer bias that was coded into the AI models. But again, these are some things that you can look into and can be fixed. But I think as a framework, this is brilliant. I don't think it's only limited or should be limited to government. I think this is something that you can implement in almost any situation, right, that you need to. And so that was the 3rd book. I hope you really found this video insightful and what I've shared with you. Again, if you have books that you'd like me to review or any recommendations, please don't be shy to drop them down in the comment section. Just a reminder to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Feel free to share it with someone who you think might benefit from it. You can also follow us on TikTok and Instagram to see our behind the scene footage and bloopers. See you on the next one. Cheers.